10 seconds. So how's life been treating you, Rick? We are
Good.
live right now on WRAPSTAR Boxing Knowledge, live all over the world. How's life been since we last spoke to you?
Everything's fine. No problems. Enjoying the summer. A lot of friends coming back from out of town, that live out of town, coming back for 10 days a week at a
Get
time.
closer to the mic if you can, please.
I'm right on top of it.
Yeah, now we can hear you a little bit better.
Okay. And
Yeah.
just enjoying the summer. I've only taken one trip this year so far. I went to Dubai for 12 days in March, and since then I've been back home and haven't really gone anywhere except the occasional day trip to New York City and come back and stuff like that.
Yeah, so Rick, I've got to be honest, I've had lots of emails, and since I last spoke to you, it seems like you've become more of a controversial figure in the boxing world. And we're hearing now that a lot of people are saying that Rick Glaser doesn't respect boxing. He talks bad about boxing. You've been on some channels which used to, be race bait channels. But, I know that you're going around just being yourself. What do you say to the people which think that you don't speak about boxing with a lot of integrity and respect? This is what we're hearing.
No, it's not true. I call out things that are wrong about that promoters and managers do that are wrong in the sport and fighters themselves. That's what I do. It's nothing to do with me having integrity. I love boxing. It's my passion. It's my livelihood. It's my livelihood for 31 years. I've loved boxing for 51 years. Okay. And it's just that I'm very outspoken. I'm straightforward. I'm very forthright, and I call it as I see it. And if it's wrong, I point it out. So I don't know where anybody gets that from, that I don't respect boxing or anything like that. I don't like what I call crimes against boxing. I call out things that people are doing wrong, and using fighters that are shot and shouldn't be fighting anymore, and that are damaged. And people don't understand what the word shot means. So I'll explain that real quick. If a guy was a very good fighter at one time and has regressed, that's shot. Now he could be slightly regressed where he's just on the back nine a little bit, but at a certain point he shouldn't be fighting anymore. That's shot. If a guy is 10 wins and 12 losses and he's just a journeyman fighter, but he's not regressed, that doesn't mean he's shot. He's just not a good fighter. Okay? There's a big difference. When you regress, that means you're shot. Okay, and I resent people using those type of fighters, especially in high level TV fights, because it's demeaning to the sport. Okay, and it's crazy. I mean, just today or yesterday, Dana White came out about boxing's matchmaking is atrocious, which it is. I can't disagree with him.
Why is boxing's matchmaking atrocious? Because look,
Because we make too many fights to build up a fighter. The people want fighters to be 20-0 and 25-0 and too many build up fights, not enough serious fights. And they get to the point that people want to see a guy fight. I believe in this. I believe in in the beginning of a guy's career, 4 relatively easy wins. Then you give him a challenge in his 5th fight. Okay.
Yeah.
If he passes that level, you give him 3 more fights that are not easy but a little challenging, and then you put him in a real fight in his 9th fight. If he gets by that, then you do the same thing again. 3 more fights at that level. He passes that, then you go to the next level above. And what these guys are putting these guys in with too many pancakes. All they do is want to fight stiffs. I mean, I know it for a fact. I get fighters turned down that I attempt to put in broker deals for fights that are 18-3, 18-4. Nah, too tough. I mean, come on. I mean, they're not even punchers or left-handers. They're just regular guys.
What do you say to the people which promoters don't really like working with each other? Every promoter has their own clients. Boxers are used to being.
Well,
can I finish?
A lot of promoters.
Yeah. Can I finish?
Yeah.
So promoters are out there and they don't seem to have the best relationship with each other. Everybody's trying to work for their clients.
Hmm.
Everybody's trying to work for their boxers, trying to do the best for their boxers. So
Hmm.
boxers don't really want to get out their comfort zone because also they're also in a TV network where they're working with. They like to be the A side. What do you say to people which the boxing business sometimes doesn't allow the boxers to fight each other? What do you think about that?
I think it's bad for boxing, but there are a lot of promoters that do work together.
Talk
Okay,
to
an
me.
example:
Which promoters work together right now?
Frank Warren and Bob Arum.
Yeah, that's one.
Eddie Hearn and Frank and Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum have done quite a few fights over the last 5 years together. Unification bouts, bigger fights. Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez just won. There's a whole bunch. That was just one comes to my mind. Okay, there are promoters that work with other promoters, but as a general rule, you are correct.
Yeah. I mean, look, Rick, the problem we're having here now, there's some fights that I want to talk to you about because your name has come very vocal on these fights. And the fans are waiting for these fights. And you know the inside of these fights. Now, before we go there, we got Brian Guzman, Steven. Peter Von Ox has said hello to you, Rick Glaser. He knows you.
Who is
Bruce,
it? Who is it?
Peter Von Ox. He said a big shout out to Rick Glaser, right?
Peter.
Peter
Peter.
Von Ox.
Okay.
And there's a guy called Bruce Gas Boxing, Jazz and More. He's been in boxing for a long time. He also gave you a shout out. So look, the fights that people want to talk to you about, and you know the inside behind the scenes. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence has become very quiet.
Mhm.
Fans are on edge. Can you please enlighten to the fans what's going on with this fight?
Well, I'm not on the inside of the situation. I'm just getting bits and pieces from quality sources. Okay, so I can't tell you officially, but I can tell you what I'm being told. So what's basically happened is that they are far apart on money. They're far apart on all the auxiliary terms, such as rematch clauses, such as that Heyman wants three options, the long-term rights to the film.
Yeah,
Okay, just everything in general. They're not close on anything. Stephen Espinosa's even admitted that.
right.
So that they're not close. It is a problem. They aren't close, and I don't see. I think unless something happens, like when Floyd and Pacquiao couldn't get it together, Les Moonves called up Stephen Espinosa and said, "Hey, this fight needs to get made, or else." So then he called up. Then Espinosa called up Heyman and said, "I got a call from Les Moonves," and the next thing you know is the fight's coming together. So unless a higher up at the parent company CBS or higher up above Espinosa comes forth to Heyman and says, "Hey, you need to make this fight, or else," I don't know if this fight gets made. I just don't see it. There's just too many things they're apart on, and Crawford's getting stonewalled. People say,
What do
"Well,
you what do
Crawford."
you think what do you think are the main details or the things which are holding up the fight in your experience in the boxing
Well,
industry?
I money is one of them. I heard there are millions apart on the money. The other one would be the fact that Spence wants a rematch clause in case he loses, but if he beats Crawford, he doesn't want Crawford to have a rematch clause. So that's wrong. Okay, Heyman wants three options on Spence. I know. I'm sorry, on Crawford. Okay, Spence Crawford doesn't want to give him that because he knows there's Virgil Ortiz out there for him after this. There's maybe Connor Ben. There's a lot of fights that he could do that he doesn't need Heyman. So the long-term auxiliary rights to the film, which they should be partners on. Um, Heyman wants those rights with Spence. They don't want to give it to Earl. I want to give it to Crawford. Just everything. It just doesn't stop. It's a grocery list. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hey Rick, sorry mate, I got taken off the studio. We're having technical issues. You know they don't like us from England sometimes on here. You know, but no, you were saying right, and I want to learn and not learn, but there's people in the chat. They heard and what you're saying that this fight is close, then the fight's not close. I mean, this is like mental illness for these fans. This is not fair on
Well,
the fans. You
put
know
it
what I
this way.
mean? Are you there?
Espinoza himself, who heads up the Showtime Boxing, says it says they are apart. It's not impossible, but they are, quite a ways apart. But it's not impossible. Well, okay, it's not impossible, but it's they're apart. So, I mean, what is he saying? Things in trouble. They can't get it together, and I don't know if they are going to get it together. I'm not convinced that they are. So
Why are
I
you not
don't.
convinced? Because you're in the business. When you say you're not convinced, then we as fans need to know why.
Because Heyman has a different agenda than Spence does, and so does Showtime. So I don't think they're all on the same page. And I'm not blaming Spence. I think it's more the powers to be.
Yeah, you got a lot of Spence fans in America who sent me emails. They said Rick Glaser is a hater. He calls us, what do you call them? Errol-sexuals.
Yeah.
Why do you
What's wrong
call
with that?
Why do you call Errol Spence fans Errol-sexuals?
Because that's what they are. Everybody on the internet calls them that. It's not me calling them that. Okay, I may have started the name. Don't get me wrong, but everybody calls them homosexuals. It caught on, just like I started the name Haymanites years ago. And it's just the way it is. So it is what it is.
So is it true that you got a liking for Terence Crawford more than Errol Spence? Because Terence
No,
Crawford is
no,
a guy.
I know.
Terence,
I just think he's a better fighter,
yeah.
a more complete fighter, a more diligent fighter, and I think he would be the winner in the fight. That's all.
But you don't take an extra liking to him because he worked with Bob Arum before.
Absolutely. If that was the case, I would be mad at Aram because he left Aram and sued Aram, wouldn't I? Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, you know, it's a bit of both
Thank you.
ways. But you haven't
Thank you.
really been so positive about Errol Spence. You or in the past have said
Well, let
that.
me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
He avoided Crawford for years, kept blaming the other side of the street. He gets drunk, crashes his car, almost gets killed. I mean, is this a guy that people are supposed to like unless you know him personally or you're from the Dallas area? He's not exactly a great example of a professional.
Yeah, but I don't think fans give a fuck about their personal life. Did we give a fuck about Mike Tyson, when they say he raped a woman? We didn't care. When Tyson came back in the ring, they just wanted to watch Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
So
that,
nobody gives
but
a fuck,
but
I think,
but
about Errol Spence, what he does behind the
Rapstar,
scenes.
Rapstar. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, but Mike Tyson, what he did didn't make it right.
Did it?
Tyson Fury, what he
That's what
did.
I said.
Tyson,
That
let me just finish. Tyson
sure.
Fury, what he didn't make it right. Even what Deontay Wilder didn't make it right. There's a lot of fighters that we
Right.
support, but what they do in their personal life, I think boxing fans just don't give a fuck.
Okay. Okay. Well, I happen to look at as career professionals how they are, and I choose to like Crawford over Spence in the fight. That's all.
So it's just simply you think Crawford is a better fighter.
Absolutely. Better fighter. Now, a more complete fighter can switch to left-handed, right-handed, faster, a better finisher. Just got a kill more of a killer instinct. Earl's good, but all I know is that if Crawford was fighting instead of Ugas that last fight, when Earl was standing there in Queer's feet, he wouldn't have looked at him. He would have walked in and finished him off.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair with you though, a lot of people, and these are the hardcore pugilist boxing
Mhm.
fans, they kind of impressed with Errol Spence, even though after the accident, he doesn't pick a cherry pick. He picks a great fighter in Danny Garcia. He beats Danny
Nobody.
Garcia.
Whoa! Nobody's ever called Danny Garcia great. Is he a solid professional, former 140-pound champ? All that? Yes. He's not great. He was never great.
When
Let's
Danny
not take.
Garcia got one of the best resumes at 140, he got a better resume than Terence Crawford at 140. He's fought
Yep.
better names than Terence Crawford at 140. And Danny Garcia has fought
But
everybody.
you
And
can't
he's given a
blame.
very good account of himself
Right.
in
But
all of those fights. He has never,
right.
ever been
Right.
dropped,
But you can't
never been
blame.
stopped.
You can't blame the fighter who's in the division when the fighter gets there. That you can't do. Everything is timing and an era. In other words, when Danny Garcia had bigger names. He had Matisse, he had Amir Khan. By the time what's his name got there to 140, those guys were already gone up to 47. So
But Danny
or
Garcia
left the
is
game.
also classed as a great fighter because of the way that he challenged everybody. And
Yeah,
even though
he has.
people believe that Danny Garcia is an elite fighter, some people believe he's just as good as Sean Porter.
Yeah, I don't see that, but it's all right.
But look, he fought him. He
Right.
and
I
he
it,
won
it was
convincingly.
September. It was September 2018. I remember it like it was yesterday.
After his accident. Then he comes and he beats the guy who beats Manny Pacquiao. He beats Ugas. He stops Ugas, breaks his orbital bone. I mean, Errol Spence is a major threat. He
Oh
has a
no, no, no.
machine gas
You were
tank.
just talking about Garcia.
Yeah, but we know that Errol Spence after Garcia, he beat Ugas and he stops
Hmm.
Ugas.
Yeah, no. Listen, I got no problem with Earl Spence. It's not. I just think that Crawford's the better fighter. I'm not saying that Earl Spence isn't a really good fighter himself. I'm just saying I think that Crawford is the better fighter. With he can do more things in the ring, and okay, and does certain things better. And I think he's a more complete fighter. There's nothing. Earl's strong. Earl's in good shape. Earl's got good fundamentals, good technical skills. I just think Crawford is just a more than a little bit of a touch better.
No, but look, with everybody has a different way of defining great. I think you got to remember when a man becomes a world champion, even Ugas or Dennis Ugas became a world champion, you got to define him as a great fighter. Now, he might not be special like Crawford for you, but you got to give him. Don't you think that when a fighter becomes a world champion, he should be getting a status of a great fighter?
Right. But your argument with great was when you called Danny Garcia great. Not you. I don't have a problem with you calling Earl Spence great.
Well, Danny Garcia was definitely great at 140,
Well,
definitely.
that was a long time ago. That was
And
7 years ago or so.
but some people do also.
That was no, that was 2014. What am I talking about?
Yeah, but what
That's
about
8 years
Crawford?
ago.
Crawford hasn't really fought the big names at 140, and Crawford hasn't even fought the guys that Danny Garcia's fought. Like you said, Danny Garcia was there at a time which Crawford wasn't. So
There's no listen.
we can't deny
Timing
that.
is everything, but don't. But you can't. You can call. I have no problem with somebody calling Spence great, but not Danny Garcia.
Okay, look, let's go here then with Errol Spence, Terence
Mhm.
Crawford. You've already said in your eyes or in your mind, you don't think this fight's going to happen anyway
No,
at this moment.
I'm not saying it'll never happen, but it won't happen next for these guys. It won't happen in a timely fashion. Let's put it that way to you.
Okay, Rick, you're a businessman. Both
Yep.
of these guys' biggest payday is each other. Errol Spence can make money with Keith Thurman. He can. But
Yep.
he can make a lot of money fighting Terence Crawford. And let's not forget, you also know this, there'll be a rematch. So both of these guys,
The
they
only
need each
the
other.
way Heyman and Spence want it, only Spence gets a rematch. Crawford doesn't.
Oh, so from what you heard, Only Errol Spence.
Yeah, it's more than what I heard. Everybody had told me the same thing, that Crawford, that if Spence loses, he gets a rematch. If Crawford loses, he doesn't get a rematch. These are some of the reasons why the fight's not going to happen. It's not a. It's They don't want to make the playing field level, which I don't have a problem with. But don't make it so tipped that the fight don't happen. Jesus Christ, it's got to be give and take here.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But it just seems like it's gone so long. And if Americans don't make this fight for America, it's not good for boxing, Rick. You
I
know,
know, I know. I agree with you.
this is not the way that we can wait for many years, and then these guys are not making fights because of little details going back and forth.
I agree with you.
So I mean, it just seems it's bad. It's bad for boxing if this fight don't happen. It's a great fight. Both fighters can make life-changing money. It's a huge event. So I hope you're wrong on that, Rick. You know, sometimes you have been wrong.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, I hope you're wrong on this, that the fight does get into fruition and they do make the fight. But look, apart from that, what do you say with the Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis? Now, they're making channels after channels. People are talking about it every day. One of the biggest fights in lightweight division. Now, I'm going to say two things here, Rick. I'm going to say two things here, though. The fans want to see this fight, and nobody's talking about Devin Haney. Where I come from, Devin Haney's the guy that these two should be really looking to fight. But both of these guys are saying, or both of the promoters are saying, or everybody seems to be saying, that this fight is more money, more pay-per-view, bigger than fighting the undisputed champion in Devin Haney. Right. And Devin Haney is a boring fighter. This is the new thing. Devin Haney's a boring fighter, and he doesn't bring the excitement like Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's correct. That Haney's a lot smoother defensively than those two guys, so he's not as exciting a fighter because he's really a more complete fighter. But I also believe that the urban following of Tank Davis and the 9 million Instagram followers that Ryan Garcia has, I think those will be two overwhelming factors that if they fight each other, it'll do more pay-per-view buys than if either guy fought Devin Haney. So I don't have a problem with that.
So you also are with the fans that this is the biggest fight in lightweight division. And the fans really want to see this fight.
Yeah, it really is the biggest fight, really, for if you're going to go pay-per-view.
And bigger than Devin Haney.
What's this guy say? Rick Glaser, good for YouTube content, isn't doing shit in boxing. I do stuff boxing every day, H Money Mob. Every day I do things in boxing.
You seem to have a lot of people who don't like you lately. And I don't know if it's
they've
your
never
comments.
they've never liked me. I'm very vocal. I tell it like it is. Even the powers to be, I go tell them to shit in their hat. I don't need any particular person. Okay, that's one good thing about me. I have a lot of clients, and I fire clients for Christ's sakes. Okay, so that's just the way I am. I know what I do. I know what I'm good at, and I follow through with it every day. If somebody doesn't like something that I'm doing, or they don't want to pay me my fees, okay, no problem. I move on. I have no problem firing a client. I've done it. I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
Look, I'll tell you something about Rick Glaser. He's the same in front of the scenes as he is behind the scenes. He talks the way he talks. He's very straightforward. You might not like the way you hear it, but that's Rick Glaser for you. He doesn't sugarcoat it, and he's ready to debate. He's ready to debate. So if you've got a question for him and you want to ask him a tough question, you're more than welcome to, because Rick will be happy to answer it.
Steven 4722 said Danny is solid. He's not great. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, it depends how you define each fighter. Some people look at a fighter who's became a world champion, fought some of the greatest names, and never shied away from a fight. That makes him a great fighter. Now, it depends how some people look at what greatness is. Greatness is also Terence Crawford, who hasn't really fought the biggest names, but he's managed to beat certain people like Ricky Burns, Lucas Gamboa, Jeff Horn, and this has given Terence Crawford his enlightening to greatness, right? But we
Yep.
got to remember, on resume, you can say Danny Garcia got better names than Terence Crawford. No, listen, it just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. And some people, they like to see skills in a fighter. Now, it's not what Terence Crawford's only done on paper. It's what you see in Crawford. You see how he beats these guys. You can see that he's got skills fighting both ways, like a southpaw, orthodox. So Crawford is that guy. You can't deny him that when you see what he does, he definitely looks like a special fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it is what it is. But look, in this Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, are they wasting their time again, the fans? Because Oscar De La Hoya says that he wants to fight on DAZN and Showtime.
Well,
And
there's a
Mayweather
way
said,
there's a way to solve that problem.
how do
I'll
they
leave it.
solve it?
They allow a twin bill on pay-per-view in the United States, and where DAZN and Showtime are partners, and then they give the foreign TV to DAZN because okay, that goes into the promotion, the profits from that, because Showtime's not in the foreign TV business. Okay.
Okay, but there's a confusion is that Oscar De La Hoya thinks both of the fighters are the A side. Mayweather says that they're not going to go to 140. These guys need to come to 135 because Tank Davis is the bigger draw and he is the bigger fighter in this fight. So
Well,
who is
those things I can't answer because Tank did fight at 140 the other day, and he said he was not going back down to 35. So that's an internal situation.
so tell us from across the pond, who's the bigger star and who has the star power and who's the A side in
I
Ryan
think
Garcia,
I
Tank
think
Davis?
first of all, Tank's pay-per-view numbers have been awful. So he's a bigger live gate attraction, but I think when it comes to the pay-per-view, I think Ryan Garcia will be the bigger attraction.
Wow, you heard it here. Rick Glaser says that Ryan Garcia on pay-per-view attraction, if it comes to pay-per-view and he gets the pay-per-view, he will be a bigger fighter than Tank Davis. So,
Yep.
hey, a lot of people are saying that Tank Davis is the A side. He's the one who brings the star power. He's the one who's at least he has had pay-per-view.
I'm not saying he's not the A side going into a fight, but
I
I
think
think
he is. I think he's the
right.
more power.
I'm not saying he's not. Okay, which he is, but I think when it comes to the pay per view itself, I think Ryan Garcia will be a bigger draw than Tank. Tank does better numbers at the door, okay, and gate receipts. But I think that Ryan Garcia will turn out to be the better money maker on pay per view. Not counting ability. I'm just talking about more popular. It'll be more popular on pay per view.
Okay. Now, look, I want to touch on this touchy subject as well, right? Because there's a few things I want to speak to you about. And
Sure.
you being on here now, there's a few questions for you, and we'll get to those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, we've been talking about after Danny Garcia announcing his anxiety and depression. You've worked with fighters, you've seen fighters, you've also told me some fighters are very difficult to work with because they don't know how to do their own business.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of problems in fighters because sometimes they have other issues.
Right.
Now, we've seen Tyson Fury saying he's had some issues. He came, he was vocal about it. We've had Deontay Wilder saying he had depression. We've had many fighters who have come out.
Ryan Garcia, the
Ryan
same thing.
Garcia has had some
But
mental
Ryan
illness.
Garcia, I understand it was not depression; it was anxiety, but it's still mental. It's still part of mental illness.
Teofimo Lopez, he had some issues. What is it with this mental side of boxing that we don't speak about much, but you understand a lot of it? Can you enlighten us what you think about this? A lot of boxers suffer from this situation in depression and mental illness.
I think it's very upsetting to know that besides actually getting hit in the head, um, in a fight, they're battling other demons such as mental illness. It's very upsetting to realize that. Um, and it is like I'm trying to put a picture on it, but it's very it's coming out now more than it ever did before. And I think it's because the fighters don't fight as often today, and they have nothing to do in between fights, and they do fall into depression and such. I think when they were fighting 3 4 times a year, the championship fighters, the bigger name fighters, it was a little different back then. And the 10 round, 8 and 10 round fighters are fighting 6 times, 5 6 times a year. But I think there's too much time period in between fights, and I think that may be part of the problem. Now, I listen. I'm not a doctor of any type. I'm not a psychologist. I'm nothing like that. But I'm just saying to you that could be a cause of the problem. Is it a lot of downtime on their hands? And there's another problem that people don't talk about. The fighters have a lot of pressure on them because most of the time they're the biggest wage earner in their family. So everybody's coming to them for money, and the money's going to run out after a while, and they have to live the rest of their life on that money or get a job. So people are trying to conserve.
So it's a real thing, isn't it? These fighters, they go through a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, there's no faking it. But there's different types of mental illness. In other words, mental illness is mental illness, but there's different types. Like I said, Ryan Garcia was anxiety. Um, Danny Garcia was straight out depression. Different people. Tyson Fury was depression. I don't know Wilder's. I didn't never got into it. But there's different types. Some of it is the pressure of being who they are, the pressure of people of they can't go anywhere without being known. Some of it's the pressure, or okay, of just being a fighter, where you're one punch away from being the guy that you're supposed to be, because you could get knocked out. It could be the anxiety like Ryan Garcia had. It could be the fact that they just get depressed. I mean, it could be more natural. It could be caused from a form of CTE, which nobody wants to talk about, but we've discovered that in American football. And it's everything. And, mental illness is it's all different types. And every no two fighters are identical. And I think I think we've got to look into this more and more, because I think it's happening more and more.
We also see a lot of personality disorders, and we see a lot of fighters that sometimes you can see they're not really 100%. You know, okay, look, Errol Spence is a great fighter, but
Mhm.
sometimes Errol Spence will speak like he's a little bit slurring. And
Yeah,
I mean, I, I,
yeah,
I don't know if it's me, but I even see Javante Tank Davis. Sometimes Javante Tank Davis, to me, he just doesn't seem like a very smart, fast talking man. It's like,
no,
I
no,
don't
he's
know,
not.
right, Rick? Rick, I
No,
see
I
a lot
agree.
of fighters.
No, I agree. I think that those are valid statements. It's just everybody. People have different IQs. Tyson Fury is a very bright guy. Sugar Ray Leonard was outside the ring is very, and inside the ring was very smart. So it just depends. Depends what fighter.
Yeah, because a lot of boxing is mentally, is mental, isn't it? It's a mental game.
Yeah,
And
well, the guy here named Joker says everyone overwhelmed with bills and long work hours get anxiety. That's true. That could be true. I agree with that. It makes sense.
yeah, Well, I'm just saying this, bro. At the end of the day, the grass is greener on the outside. People think fighters are very strong and they're tough and they're able to take everything that comes to them. But actually, if you look at it, yeah, maybe physically they're strong, but mentally they're just the same human being as anyone else. Sometimes they don't
A
know how to
hundred
face
percent,
certain things.
100% correct.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I just think we take fighters for granted. We take boxing for granted, and we also got to recognize they're human beings, and they just got the same issues as anyone else. If they're losing or things ain't right for them in their life, or they don't feel strong enough, they don't feel confident enough. Maybe that builds anxiety. Maybe that brings a lot of thoughts. And if they don't feel themselves, sometimes that's also things that play on their mind. But
A hundred
like
percent.
you said something good here. We need to recognize it. And like you said, Rick Glaser, maybe now it's time boxing set something up for these
Yep.
fighters to be analyzed
Yep.
psychologically, or just counseling every 6 months just to see if they're fit and really good mentally to be in the ring.
Yep. 100%. Yep. No
So
question about it.
so Rick, let me take you to my side of the pond. I know you watch boxing all over the world. I know it's not just about America for you. So coming down to my side of the pond, you know there's a big fight coming up, and the fight's in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. It's no other than Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk rematch.
Hmm.
It's a major fight. Um, this is Eddie Hearn's golden goose. Um, DAZN lost the fight, Rick, to Sky
Guy.
and
Yep.
Boxer.
Well,
Now, what do you know
in the
about this?
UK, in the UK, they did. They didn't in the United States. It's on the zone in the United States.
Okay, so DAZN have got the fight in America, but they lost the fight in England, right?
No, the UK.
Yeah, and Sky Sports have got the fight.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Hmm.
Now, I just want to come to this. How can a fight where Anthony Joshua made an exclusive deal with DAZN?
You know what? I know where you're going with this. I have no idea what kind of crazy deal that Eddie Hearn made with the zone for this guy. I don't know. It sounds like it's anti-productive against his own. So I have I have a problem with that. I mean, whose side is Eddie playing? I mean, is he working for Joshua, or is he partners with the network? As the network partners with him. I mean, I don't know what the frig happened there. It's just the wackiest thing I've seen.
Yeah, anyway, it just didn't make sense to us a little bit. We thought this fight would be DAZN all over the world.
You know,
But anyway, them losing the fight. Now, even Eddie Hearn has been pulled away from certain fighters lately since I last spoke to you. He lost Andre. He's no more with business with Devin Haney. He's lost a lot of the fighters that he had from America and Matchroom USA. It doesn't seem to be performing at the moment. And
no,
now there's
he.
talks that DAZN have kind of like made a new deal with Eddie where they've kind of like overlooking the budget and they tell him where they're going to spend the money now because he didn't do the
I
greatest
honestly
job.
believe that to be true, and I think they allotted a lot of that budget towards Oscar De La Hoya's fighters, which is um, Ryan Garcia, I'm sorry, Virgil Ortiz, and Jaime Manguia, and several others. And I think that they're going more and more that direction.
Okay.
I think they're slowing down on Eddie.
Well, I don't know about this year, but somebody has sent me an email while I've been speaking to you.
Hmm.
They said Rick Glaser is a bit biased. He speaks about Errol Spence like he's done something bad. And why should fans want to support him? But he didn't mention that Terence Crawford was in a situation for assault. And in 2008, he was shot hanging out with the wrong crowd, playing dice, games, gambling, and everything else.
Yeah.
If
If
Rick
that's
Glaser
true,
really was a man who would give a person a true opinion, it's not Rick. Because really
No.
and truly, Terence Crawford has done worse things than Errol
Okay.
Spence.
First
What
of
have you got
all,
to say about that?
I didn't know anything about getting shot in 2008. I had no clue.
You
Never
didn't know
heard
that
that.
Terence
Never
Crawford.
heard
You
that.
didn't know Terence Crawford was playing dice and he was in a
No,
wrong crowd and
no,
he got shot.
never heard that at all.
Right. So you didn't
That's the
know that
first I've
because
heard about it.
that's already documented around the world.
So it might be. I've just never heard about it.
Okay. And what about the assault?
What assault is that?
Oh, you don't know about Terence Crawford and his assaults?
I
Okay.
knew that he had a problem when he didn't pay for a car at a collision shop that he had repainted.
Anyway, this email seems to be somebody watching the show,
I
and
don't
they
have any
are like
idea.
they're like, look, Rick Glazer's not being real when it comes to Errol Spence. He doesn't like him. That's what they're saying on that message. But hey, look, at the end of the day, Rick Glazer didn't know Terence Crawford was in the wrong crowd
So
and got shot.
here's what Punch Drunk said. Al
Yeah.
Heyman works with others as well. Okay, first of all, Ruiz was a last minute opponent for AJ. He had nothing for Ruiz. Okay, so that was a no brainer. Canelo versus Plant, he promoted the show. Of course, he's going to do that. Okay, Devin Shanko versus GGG was a mandatory. Okay, Porter versus Crawford was a mandatory. Wilder Fury, that was a cherry pick gone wrong, and they signed rematch clauses. Okay, and Diaz versus Russell Jr. I don't even know who that is. Who's Diaz? Oh, Jojo Diaz. That was a mandatory. So that's why those fights took place. So if that's not working when you're mandatories, that's not working together. Thank you.
I don't know why, but Punch Drunk's been a bit vocal about you, Rick, on
Oh
this
well,
Twitter. You and Punch Drunk have been going in a love and
I don't
hate
know, but
Twitter beef.
most of those fights were mandatories. That's why they happened. Thank you.
Okay,
So
okay.
mandatories don't count as working together. Unification bouts count because of the fact that they don't have to be made. Mandatories have to be made. Okay, so there you go.
Okay, Punch, if you got anything to retaliate, you know what I mean?
Well, it's a
Um,
fact. It's nothing to retaliate.
so Toby Bartlett says Sky is a bigger platform, and the Saudis wanted the most people to see the Saudis Arabian tourism. Sky was the highest bid.
Wasn't the highest bidder. I don't know what the truth is there. I'm not doubting what he's saying because it does make sense. So I'm not doubting it, but I just don't know it to be a fact. But it does make sense.
Okay, okay. Now let's go to the chat. Guido says everybody knew that Bud Crawford was shot in,
Well,
and okay.
first of all, okay, you said 2008 he got shot, right? So 2008 was 14 years ago. Okay, Bud wasn't even on anybody's radar then. Wasn't he I mean, he's 34 now, so he's 20
Yeah.
years old when he got shot. Like he was what he was he a prospect? I mean, he wasn't a player in the game at the time. Who pays attention to that stuff?
Yeah, all right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. Yes, Danny Medina in the house, Brian Guzman in the house, Punch Drunk Boxing, Carlene Guido in the house. Punch says, so why Ryan versus Haney was not made? Hmm.
Why is
Ryan versus
Ryan
Haney was not
Garcia
made.
versus Haney? Because
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia is behind Haney. That's why he was inactive with with that one hand. Was it hand or shoulder injury and the anxiety? He's just behind the times. What's his name's a unified champ. I mean, I don't think that fight's gonna get made.
Yeah. So Punch Drunk Boxing says, stop it. Aram and Kenny Porter Heyman been working on that fight for a year, and I know that for a fact.
It was a mandatory that went okay. It avoided a purse bid. What's he talking about? Stop already with this bullshit, bunch. Okay,
Oh my
he
God.
was a mandatory. Go look at the thing. He was the mandatory #1 contender. Virgil Ortiz was #1, didn't fight him, and they moved Porter into the mandatory position. The 6 million and 4 million was representative of a 60-40 purse split. Okay, stop. It was a mandatory. Thank you. Move on. Oh God.
Oh my gosh. And Punches come back with another one. Porter was not even a WBO rank when they were
He was
working
the
on a
number.
deal.
He was the mandatory. Where did he come up with this stuff?
Okay, we got Punch Drunk Boxing right here, Rick.
Punch. He was the mandatory. What are you talking about? He wasn't rated. Hello?
You.
He was the mandatory. What do you mean he wasn't rated? You can't be a mandatory unless you're rated.
Rick, you're playing the political game. What I was saying was that Porter's team, Al Heyman, Kenny Porter, and Bob Arum been in discussion of making that fight before he was even ranked in the WBO. You're saying that these fights only took place because it was mandatory. They didn't even go to the purse bid. Why? Because they've been talking about this. You remember when Bob Arum said that he was hold on, because I put the post up and you criticized the whole post. You said that Al Heyman
Either
didn't have
he was the mandatory timeout. It's an easy way to end this conversation. He was either the mandatory or he wasn't. Since we know he was the mandatory, the discussion's dead.
That fight would have happened with or without the mandatory. That's what I'm saying.
No way.
Yes,
no.
it would.
It wouldn't happen for 4 million for Porter if he wasn't the mandatory.
That it doesn't matter about the money. It was about that they was already discussing about the fight even before that he was even mandatory or a WBO ranked fighter. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. The bottom line was he was the mandatory. That's the bottom line.
He was the mandatory, but they was working on you're trying to say that the only reason this fight happened was because of mandatory. And I'm saying, you know boxing and you know the politics of boxing, and you know that the reason why the reason why Porter wasn't ranked in the WBO, and then he was ranked #4. And let me correct you. When Virgil Ortiz was waiting for the mandatory, when he announced his fight, that's when they announced a Porter and a Bud fight. And that's why Virgil Ortiz and his dad was mad and felt like they was getting that they got dissed because they waited till they announced their fight, knowing they was not going to get mandated. And then when he announced his fight, then they mandated the fight. You don't move
the part about
hold on. You don't move to the WBO not being ranked, then #4, didn't fight, and then land the #1 spot because you know the politics of it. So don't tell me that the reason why they fought was because he was mandatory. It was a political move to get Sean Porter into a top 15 so he could get that fight with Bud Crawford.
So he went from the top 15 to the mandatory?
He was not even ranked in the WBO, my brother. He went from the not being ranked to #4, didn't fight, and then moved to #1. While Virgil Ortiz was #1, they slipped him to #2.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, and this I know for a fact. Okay, because I know who was going to the purse bid representing Top Rank if they didn't make a deal and they made a deal at the 11th hour. Now, if you were right, they wouldn't have made a deal at the 11th hour. They would have already had it in the bag. Thank you.
How many postponed did they have?
I don't 2.
It shouldn't have been postponed because when they asked for the extra couple of weeks, it should have been boom, and then they asked for another couple of weeks, and they
didn't. You're right, because they didn't make it. They had made a deal. That was the point. You keep saying that they had made a deal already, and they had been talks for a while. That's wrong.
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You're saying that the fight happened because of the mandatory. I understand that part. What I'm telling you is that they was already working on a fight even before he was not even a WBO rank.
Well, then they had. It was awful bad at working on when it almost went to purse bids.
Wait, Rick. Meaning that Al Heyman and Ken Porter and Bob Arum was trying to work together. So even by then, I'm already clarifying my opinion. You're saying that when he asked you early on the show, who works together.
What
And
I'm going to tell you now,
you
if that fight
you're always trying to snub Al Heyman. That's what it is. And by snubbing Al Heyman, everybody know you don't like Al Heyman, so you don't like PBC fighters, nor give credit to PBC
no,
fighters.
I like
That's
a
why you
lot of PBC
discredit this
fighters.
weekend's event and said that this event was
There's
garbage.
a lot of
should have never been in the ring.
PBC. There's a lot of PBC fighters I like. I like the 154-pound Charlo Jamel. I think he's an excellent fighter. There's a whole bunch of PBC fighters. I like Stefan Fulton. There's a lot of PBC fighters. I like 5 or 6 of them. So that's not true. Thank you.
Oh, 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, I do like 5 and 6 of their fighters. Absolutely. Why? Am I? There's only three of them I like a top rank. There's only 3 of them I like a golden boy.
The difference between a Rick Glaser and a normal fan is that you're in the business. You're in the business that capitalize and make a business of breaking fights and work with fighters. So when you're talking about professional, calling Earl Spence fans, Earl sexuals,
yeah,
and Heyman
just
Knights.
Make sure you pronounce it right.
I know. It could be for you. It could be funny, but you're talking about Earl Spence being professional. You're professional. You work with fighters. You make a living off this. So
right.
you should make it. Hold on. I'm not finished.
You don't
I'm not
think
finished yet. Don't cut me off like you do everybody else.
You don't think I'm supposed to have a sense of humor?
Don't cut me off. I'm not finished, Rick. You're supposed to be showing respect to the modern day wars and modern day gladiators.
So you don't think
do for a living. You supposed to.
You don't think I'm supposed to have a sense of humor?
That what?
You don't think I'm supposed to have a sense of humor?
Or everybody can have a sense of humor.
Well, there's the answer. Thank you. Don't deny me a sense of humor. Thank you.
You can have a sense of humor. No balls, no this and this fighters and things of that nature. There's a sense of humor, but you believe in your sense of humor. It's like I could tell a joke, but the joke could be true. I could feel what I'm joking about, right?
Listen. I'm not disagreeing with you. Hold on. Punch with good dialogue. Rick with 40 years experience. This is good. Hey, 31 years experience. Don't make me older than I already am. Okay. So, anyways, anything else going on tonight, Punch?
Boxing is 24/7. Every time there's something going on in this
what is it? What does everything I do say? Boxing 24/7, 365. Everything I put. Go to my website. It's all over the place.
Yes, but I feel like they all working together. Not in the timely fashion that we will want certain fights that we want, but Andy Ruiz came out of Top Rank. You mean they couldn't get him a fight? 4 weeks later, he's fighting in the biggest fight. Hold on, Rick.
What are you talking about?
You're wrong. I'm not wrong. He got the AJ fight. He got the AJ fight in 4 weeks and became heavyweight champion of the world. That was Al Heyman. That was Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. If it wasn't Andy Ruiz, then Luis Ortiz would have got that fight.
Let me explain. Now you just switch rivers here. Andy Ruiz fought for the WBO heavyweight championship of the world. Okay, he lost to Joseph Parker. Okay, now wait. He went to Top Rank, went to rebuild him, and he wanted. As a matter of fact, I supplied the opponent in his comeback fight. It was Kevin Johnson, if I remember correctly. Okay. In the meantime, he priced himself out of everything that Top Rank tried to put him in, like as a co-feature, and wanted like retarded, ridiculous money. And in the meantime, they says, Andy, you want to release? Buy us out. Bought him out for $700,000. He fought once for PBC against a I don't know, Russian somebody,
Dimitrenko.
Right. In the time period between that fight and when he was bought out was over 5 months.
Okay.
Then a month later, the other fight came along after he beat what's his name. So you're going by from the date he fought. He was already with PBC for 5 months.
Okay, so I'm saying, so who did Al Heyman work? He was with PBC. Al Heyman, correct. So Al Heyman worked with Eddie Hearn to get the AJ fight.
Listen.
I'm just
It
saying,
was a no-brainer. He had a guy out in the
even if
middle
it's
of nowhere.
brother, even if it was a no-brainer or anything, did Al Heyman work with Eddie Hearn to get his fighter the biggest
one
fight in the sport?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
That's
He
my
did.
point.
I said that. I said that earlier. You listed a whole bunch of fights that then they were all mandatories, except for, that was like one of the ones that wasn't a mandatory. Dovinchenko and GGG was a mandatory. These were all mandatories.
What I'm saying, just because that's why my next reply was, why didn't Ryan and Haney didn't happen? Because Ryan was supposed to be the mandatory. Just because you're the mandatory, that doesn't mean the fight happens. Just because you're in position for a mandatory, that doesn't mean the fight happened. Jaime Munguia was a mandatory to Demetrius Andre. That fight didn't happen.
Right, but wait. That's when.
Damn, let me finish, Rick. You can't time me out. I gotta finish my sentences so you can understand.
I'm going to stop you because
no. Let me finish, brother.
Gotta go.
Let me finish. That's what I'm talking about. Run your ass out of here, man. You fake. The fuck out of here, man.
What happened to Rick? He ran away.
Come on, man. He ain't gonna stop me, man, my tracks, man, because he's about to get smoked. Get out of here, man. You ain't the only one that know boxing. You ain't the only insider in the sport of boxing.
Oh my God. I think Rick said that he would debate anyone, though.
I told you I told you that that's why WRAPSTAR ain't want to come. I told you that he was going that I was going to smoke him out. I told you. I'm the only one in motherfucking boxing that do that to people. I'm the only one in boxing. Ran.
Shit.
He was leaking.
Yeah, Rick's
not
normally like that. Rick's
not
normally like that.
I told you he didn't want that smoke. It's punch run boxing, baby. The most dangerous man in the WTBC.
Hey,
I'm gonna say like this. Bro. I'm gonna tell you like this.
I'm gonna call Rick. You know, I'm gonna say, Rick, what happened, bro? You said you'll debate anyone. You know what I mean? I thought Rick said to me that he'll smoke anybody.
He can't debate it. Just like everybody else, man. Just say your biasness. You know what I'm saying? Just say your biasness.
I don't know what
Andy
happened
Ruiz,
there, bro.
everybody knows it. Did Andy Ruiz get a shot at the heavyweight title, the cash cow of the sport of boxing, 5 weeks into being with PBC?
Yeah.
Think about it. Just think about it, WRAPSTAR. Think about it. You a fighter, and you've been asking for big fights and big money, right? Oh, man, I'm going to leave this job. Oh, I'm going to leave this place. You get into PBC. 5 weeks, my brother. 5 weeks. And you get the biggest cash, the cash cow, one of the cash cow in the sport of boxing, and then beat him. Who made that happen? Did Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman work together? Yes. Did Sergey Derevchenko and Triple G work together, even though there was a mandatory?
Stay on the line, Punch. Wait.
Go ahead. I'll speak. Even though that is a mandatory, Sergey Derevchenko almost pulled out of that fight.
Rick.
You reach Rick Glaser. Please leave.
Hey, Rick just fucking ran away, man. What happened to him?
I told you yesterday, man. I told you yesterday, Rap. I told you yesterday, brother. He can't take the smoke, man. He can't take it. They all tried. I'm his kryptonite. You know why? Because I know shit that he don't think I know. And he think he knows shit that nobody else knows. There's more insiders in boxing, baby. That's what it is. Everybody working together, bro. Everybody works together. Why he ain't mention Fury and Wilder? When you asked him earlier, you know why he didn't mention Fury and Wilder? Because that's been the most successful fight in boxing, the most lucrative fight in boxing. And guess who put that together? Bob Arum and Al Heyman. But he won't say it because he don't want to give credit to Al Heyman. Tell me, anybody in the comment, what was the most lucrative fight in boxing? What's been other than Canelo Alvarez? Other than Canelo Alvarez, who also worked with Al Heyman to get the Caleb Plant fight. So one of the highest accomplished fights Canelo had, people watched it. It was a PBC event. You got Bob Arum and Al Heyman working together for the biggest heavyweight bout. You got Undisputed with Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. You got to give credit where credit is due. Bob Arum is doing this thing. Eddie Hearn has done this thing. Hey, Eddie Hearn, what he did? I said people work together. Eddie Hearn got together with.
So why can't you just have a normal debate with? Just have a normal debate.
I'm not interested. Thank you.
I mean, what you don't want to debate him?
No, I'm not going to sit here and debate it when I know that a guy was ready to get on a plane to go to Puerto Rico for the fucking purse bid, and he's telling me it was already rearranged when I know when already rearranged it wasn't. That's why there was a 2-week. That's why there was 2-time delay. Okay, he acknowledges that there was a 2-time delay, but he's telling me it was already arranged. They were already talking. They were talking about it not going to purse bid because it was a mandatory.
Yeah, so just come in, but let's have a friendly conversation, you know?
He's staying on the side.
Has he offended you?
No, I'm not interested in arguing at 12 o'clock at night with this guy. I have no interest.
Yeah, I hear you, but you're the one who said you're ready to debate anyone when it comes to boxing.
I am, but I'm not having somebody talk over me. I'm in the business. He's not. Okay, I've had it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
See, that's that. You see, that's the problem.
You shouldn't run away from your own.
That's
smoke,
the problem. He thinks that he's in the business of boxing.
Rick said to me, Punch. He said to me, WRAPSTAR, let me come onto the show. I want to talk to anybody about boxing. And I said to him, when you come to WRAPSTAR, you know what we're like. I told him the last time he was there. And I told him on WRAPSTAR Boxing, nobody's a fan of anybody here. When we talk to you, and people are going to speak to you, and, you got to be ready to debate them. And now he's saying to me, I'm not interested. I don't like the way that he's speaking like this, and he's telling me how it goes. Man, listen, Rick, at the end of the day, you're coming here and you said you want the smoke. So why all of a sudden are you offended? Now that Punch Drunk's here and he wants to give you some smoke, or he's having a debate with you, you want to run away. And then you're telling me I'm not interested when he's on the channel. No, man, you come on the channel and you come and have your free smoke. Rick Glaser told me, ladies and gentlemen, that he's ready to debate anybody. And you know, and I know, when we come onto our channels, we have it out, Punch. Mm-hmm. We're not here to not ask the questions or not speak in a certain way. So look, no disrespect to Rick. Rick Glaser's always shown WRAPSTAR respect, but today he ran away. And it's like he don't want to debate, or you've just hit a spot that he don't want to, you know what I mean? He don't want to go there with you. Well, then he shouldn't be coming to these kind of channels, bro.
No. This is what it is, WRAPSTAR. This is what it is. He don't want to go there with me because he thinks he's the only one. You saw, I'm an insider. I know. You don't know what I know. That's the problem. He thinks that he the only one that knows shit. Why I got two? Time out. How I got 2 fighters signed to Kenny Porter? I got 2 fighters signed to Kenny Porter.
Yeah,
I've worked in the corners with. I've worked in the corners with Kenny.
Yeah, I think with him, right? He thought he was getting shut down. You know what I mean? And he wants to get his point across. He doesn't want anybody to be having their point sometimes. And I just feel like he felt like he was getting shut down. But I don't know what kind of fan-friendly interview he wanted to have with you.
Okay,
I mean, it's a debate. It's a debate.
Look at this.
I mean, you guys are having a debate, and he went and got offended. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all he needed to say to me, "Yo, I don't want to have that smoke."
So people can understand in the chat. If I speak to the president of the WBO, Paco, and I speak to Ken Porter, don't you think that I know something about something that's going on in the business of Bud Crawford versus Sean Porter? So when he's telling me, when I said, what about what happened to these dates, why it was pushed? How do I know that Bob Arum and Top Rank was working the deal with Porter and Crawford a year before? How do I know that? So the problem is that he thinks he knows shit that I don't know. That's the problem. And that's why he ran off, because he don't want to let me finished because I know facts. Sergey Derevchenko versus Triple G was about to get pulled out. It got pulled out because Al Heyman wanted to reconstruct the contract of Sergey Derevchenko. So cool, it's mandatory or not. But if Al Heyman decides to pull Sergey Derevchenko out that fight, who gives a fuck about the mandatory? Mandatories don't mean that it's not all the time that a mandatory you got to fight this fighter. Was there, put it this way, was Demetrius Andrade going to fight Parker, yes or no? When he has a mandatory Jennebeck. He was going to get that fight, and he didn't even need to fight his mandatory. Jaime Munguia don't need to fight his mandatory. Ryan Garcia don't need to fight his mandatory. So he's wrong there.
He's probably watching what you're saying now. He's watching you.
Good, watch it. And matter of fact, I'm even giving him so he could come back. You know what I'm saying? Be a man and don't be a beta male and come right back so he could get smoked again. The only man that make him run. That's what it is, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened there, bro. I mean, normally he debates with a thick skin.
Just because a person says a lot of insider shit, the thing he's loud about his. But don't think a lot of people don't know certain shit about certain things. You know what I'm saying? He said Larry Liston said I was looking for. He ran. He obeyed. He ran. He goes everywhere. He said he's ready for any question, ready for any smoke. He couldn't take this punch wrong, Mr. Moonshine Smoke. I apologize, WRAPSTAR, but I told you. Told you he was going to run off. I told you he was going to call 911, and even the 911, the firefighter said, man, it's too much smoke. The chief said they ain't sending their mans there.
Yeah. Well, I already told Rick Glaser. I already told Rick Glaser, bro, that if you debate on WRAPSTAR boxing, bro, it can get a little bit heated. He said, I don't give a fuck. He told me that he ready to debate anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happened between you and him. You know?
He said you ran the star out of the show, Puzz.
Hey man, guys, I thought it was gonna be a good heated debate back and forth.
Why people mad? Like why y'all mad in the chat? Huh?
Yeah. Hey, listen, man.
Y'all mad? Y'all mad? Yo, my haters, man, for real, bro. I love my haters.
Hey, look, man, I got some new people trying to come in the chat. Show your face, bro. I can't just let you in like that. I've had too many trolls. Lena, I've never seen you before. Show your face, bro, and I'll let you in. Or I'm not letting you in. But yo, what I'm saying, Punch, at the end of the day, I don't know what happened. You and Rick have been chopping it up back and forth for a while now. And I think at this point, you must have offended him in some way, or he don't want to get in it with you. Like he told me, he's saying that you don't know, he knows, but he don't want to debate it now. So I don't know what happened and why he ran away like that, or why you offended him like that, bro.
Man, I don't know. My delivery offends people. That's what it is, man. Sometimes it's just delivery, man. They're threatened by Punch Drunk Boxing's voice.
I was just gonna ask him a few hard questions, bro. I was just getting to a few.
They threatened by the energy,
questions with him.
brother. They threatened by the energy. I'll smoke you in English and Spanish. Anybody in the YTBC, anybody that got y'all little fans, anybody in the comment box that got y'all little fans, everybody know my email. They could all get smoked out, embarrassed. Physically and debates. In a fight or debates. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all know me already. Hater or supporters. I smoke them all out. All out. Physically and debates.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for anybody.
Hey, look.
Anybody.
Everybody knows what WRAPSTAR is about, though. They know that we're explicit over here. When we go at it, There's it's an open panel. You know what I mean? It can get a bit heated. If I think something's getting a bit crazy, then obviously I would have intervened and said, "Come on, everybody."
Jojo mentioning two motherfuckers. Jojo mentioning a motherfucker that you never seen in your life, and you mention another pussy motherfucker. That's who you mentioning. You rock with you rock with a pussy, and you rock with somebody you never seen in your life but an avatar. Get the fuck out of here.
Who's
man.
that? Joker.
Jojo. Fuck out of here, man. You worship a pussy, and then you worship a motherfucker you never seen in your life. These motherfuckers is dummies.
Hey, you
These
funny, bro.
motherfuckers is dummies, man. Hey, dummies.
Man,
What
I was
about
gonna ask.
IBFP? Yeah, shout out to IBFP, but Jojo, you ain't never seen him in your life, so shut the fuck up. and then being that dude, man, please, one of the most pussiest niggas over here. Fuck out of here, man. That's who you worship in the YTBC. My fault. I introduced you to the motherfucker, probably. Let's go, Rapstar. Who next?
Hey, look, man. Let me just say this. I just want to say. I want to say. No, I want to say this, bro. I want to say this. I think people forget what WRAPSTAR's live were about. I haven't messed up for nothing, Joker. I don't think you understand what my show's about, bro. If you want to say anything, come on the show. At the end of the day, this is an open platform. I can't tell Rick what to say. I can't tell Punch what to say.
Thank you, Rap. Yo, tell Joker to get on the panel so he could,
Joker, get on the panel and come and express yourself, bro.
Yeah, so I could run off.
Right now,
so I could run off like Mr. Beta Male did. Come on, bro. Come on, brother. Hop on the panel and run me off. How about that?
Hey, look, every man for themselves when they're having a conversation or a debate. You know what I mean? If they're going back and forth, it's between them.
Gotta do
at the end of the day, if somebody gets offended and they don't want to be in it, then they listen. There's a better way to handle it, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you can talk it out. If you feel a man shouting over you, just don't even respond. And then when it's your turn, you can just speak. Say you don't speak. There's ways to conduct things. I don't know what happened. Rick Glaser, he normally wants the smoke. If you know who Rick Glaser is, he's a man who speaks in a way, and he's got a very vocal voice, and he's got thick skin. Rick Glazer's got thick skin, bro. He ain't, as far as I was concerned, he ain't scared of no debates.
Yo, Rapstar, you ever seen Rick run from a debate?
No, I ain't seen Rick run from a debate.
He never did, man, until today.
This is the first time ever I've seen Rick got. I don't know what happened. I'm confused myself. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
All right, Joker. Joker says I would crush Punch in a debate. All right, you want the link?
Yeah, man. Show your face, cause I want to see my haters' face too, man. I want to see how they look like too. Let me see if I feel sorry for their wife or something.
Hey, look, man. I'll give a chance to anybody who wants to say. Here's the link. Look, man. This is open platform. As long as you don't speak about some stupid shit, then we good. You know what I mean? Here's the link.
That boy.
Hey, listen, I don't want to say all respect to Rick Glaser. Rick Glaser, I don't know what happened to him. He did come on the show. You know what I mean? He did answer certain questions.
Rapstar come to my show and he smokes Bill, smokes until
everybody.
Senior. You know what I'm saying? No holds bar. It is what it is.
Nah. I mean, I don't even think you swore. I mean, I didn't see you swear. I did see you, you know, obviously, you know, saying you want to have your say, and that was it. But he wanted to have his say.
He said
you both went back and forth a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you said, "Let me get my point across. Let me get my point across," because he kept cutting you. You kept cutting him.
Let me ask you a question. How many times you told them that? Let me finish. So you could finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You gotta respond when you finish your piece, so it could be understood. Remember, it's not a debate for you two. It's a debate for everybody else could listen to. So Why do I'm in the middle of my sentence? Why are you wait? I gotta cut you off. The second, no, you don't cut me off, motherfucker. I gotta finish. Even if I'm right or wrong, let me finish the motherfucking point so you can have an answer to it. He said, "Oh, but Andy Ruiz, they didn't have nobody for him. They ain't had nobody for him. Fuck you mean? You mean Eddie Hearn didn't have nobody for him? But guess what? When Eddie needed somebody, who he ran to? Who he ran to?
And you know, I was gonna talk to Rick, and I'm gonna just come out with a few things that I was thinking in my head. When I see him criticizing certain things, I just wanted to say to him, everybody seems crooked in boxing, Rick. Not just what you're saying. He doesn't like him. Lou DiBella doesn't like him. Eddie Hearn don't like him. Frank Warren doesn't like him. Al Heyman doesn't want to do business with Oscar De La Hoya. And listen, it's a crooked business at the end of the day. Far as I'm concerned, Punch, yeah, we're in a boxing sport. Yeah, Rick Glaser, yeah, we're in a boxing sport. You're earning your money from it. But everybody in that business of boxing, I have enough knowledge in my sport of boxing, and I've worked with people. I'm just going to keep it real. This is like what I was going to tell Rick, or indirectly asking questions, which would lead him to tell me that you're right, WRAPSTAR. Everybody in boxing does not have integrity when it comes to the sport of boxing and business. There is no integrity. Nobody wants to give no one credit. Even Bob Arum never wants to talk about Rick Glaser, even though Rick Glaser does business with Bob Arum, but Bob Arum wouldn't ever speak his name.
You know, it's couple of your subscribers, you know what I'm saying? If for you, I'll get off the panel, you could bring on Rick, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if y'all,
man, fuck that shit, man. I'm just saying, look, the business, what we're talking about, Punch, everybody's crooked in the game, it seems to me. Rick Glaser can tell me, yeah, Lou DiBella's like this, and this guy's like that, and this Rick Glaser's like this. But everybody in the sport is a shark.
Supporters also, bro. Flip flop, fake ass motherfuckers out here, bro. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it is that sport. It's a gangster's playground, bro. Boxing is a real gangster's playground when it comes to the business of it. It just is what it is. And you know, that's why we got a lot of different people and different faces in the game. And unfortunately, they don't want to work with each other because everybody's protecting their own. Everybody's just doing what they want to do. Rick's going to do the best of what he wants to do. And as long as that guy's not his client anymore, he got no interest.
It's almost like this. It's almost like this. Okay, WRAPSTAR. I give the people an example because that's what I mean. People think that only certain people know information. Just because you're not saying who's your sources and who you speak to, things of that nature, then people gonna be like, "Oh, you a hater, you're wrong," right? Okay, like let's give the people an example. When let's say Devin Haney was saying that we're gonna send a contract from Lomachenko, and I was out, and we remember it was my live, right? And you said, "Stop the cap. You are going to fight Jorge Linares." Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So you're saying, man, stop the cap. Y'all ain't gonna fight. Y'all gonna fight Jorge Linares. You were saying Jorge Linares. Why? And then what did we find out? But what do you know from the people that you know? They petitioned the WBC to get Jorge Linares. Who does WRAPSTAR know? He's already done 2 interviews with Mauricio Sulaiman. So don't you think maybe when he's saying this on the panel, he's telling Bill, you ain't gonna fight Loma, you capping. You're going to fight Jorge Linares.
And I already knew that.
Wait. And let's say somebody's saying, "Oh, WRAPSTAR, you hate and you don't want the Loma fight." and remember that panel, and most of the people was like, "Oh, you don't want to see this fight? He's capping." You're like, "He's capping. They're gonna fight Jorge Linares. So this is a waste of time." How do you know that it was going to be Jorge Linares and Devin Haney rather than anybody else? How do you know?
I know the WBC.
Exactly. That's my point. So my point is with the Crawford and the Crawford and the Porter is, I know the information already. Been knowing the information for a year. So when he's saying, oh, it's because the mandatory, no, they was already working on that deal already. They was already working on that deal. Does he want to come out here and tell them how much they really got paid? Because what's reported is not what they got paid. Should I say that shit too? So I could prove my point? That I know what the fuck I'm talking about? No. Bud Crawford and Sean Porter did not get paid $4 million Porter and $6 million times Bud Crawford. Now tell me if I'm lying. Come, Rick.
Yeah, Rick don't want no smoke today, bro. It seems. You know what I mean? But yo, at the end of the day though, Punch, no matter what you know, what I know, and what is the truth, if at the end of the day, fans will always have a narrative, even though you've seen it in black and white yourself.
I'm saying
at the end of the day, you could see it for yourself, and the fans will still have a narrative pushing it their way.
The logical man, they got paid more.
What's that?
Nah, I'm reading what the logical man said. So they got paid more.
Yeah. But anyway, Punch, yo, it's late out here, but we had a good little show while it lasted. But you know what? At the end of the day, hey, look, man, it's free smoke out here. You know what I mean? If we have debates, sometimes people do get a little bit offended. It can happen. But I don't expect Rick Glaser to just leave like that. But yo, respect to everybody who came through. Punch, what's going on with your side, bro? Anything?
In terms of what?
What's happening? Anything new your way?
What? Like what? What you mean?
Anything new in boxing? Anything happening?
I was going to talk about the Earl Spence and Bud Crawford and what he was saying that his source told him. I'm not going to say he wrong, but my source told me something a little different than that. But hey, yeah, he's Rick and I'm Punch, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit.
Yeah, Rick Glaser reckons the fight's dead. Rick came on the channel earlier and said that the fight's dead with Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. He said it's dead now. But who knows? At the end of the day, what do we know? We don't know until anything really has happened. We can go back and forth. Different people got different sources. What happened with
Floyd Schofield?
Let's be honest though. Sometimes the source can be wrong because things change in days after, don't they?
What happened to Floyd Schofield? Wasn't he working with Rick?
He was.
Okay.
Hey, big shout out to Floyd Schofield.
So let me say this. Okay. Do people know that I know Floyd Schofield? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So do you think I know something about their business? Rick Glaser and Floyd Schofield. Do I know something about their business? Yes or no?
Well, if you speak to them behind the scenes, then yeah.
So I know more about his business than he know more about mine.
Yeah, because they speak to you behind the scenes about their business.
Why they not? Why he not working? Why Floyd Schofield's not working with Rick right now?
You got to ask Rick that. Rick's not here now.
Bring a ball. Why are they not working together? And shout out everybody. Just so y'all ain't know, and I'm gonna put a video up. Floyd Schofield just signed with Golden Boy Promotions. Gonna be in the undercard. Gonna be in the undercard of Virgil Ortiz this Saturday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. This Saturday.
Yeah, Virgil versus
Floyd Schofield making good moves. You know, leaving car salesman and going with a real promoter, real people that handle some real boxing business.
Yeah, now you mentioned that fight, bro. Yeah, but now you mentioned that fight as well. You know, yeah, our boy McKenson, yeah, he's an unbeaten fighter, but man, going against Virgil Ortiz in his own backyard, bruv, I'll tell you the truth. He's only got 2 knockouts out of all of his fights. He's going against a man who's a knockout artist, and McKenson's only got 2 knockouts. Now he better have some Devin Haney tricks up his sleeve. He better have some movement, or not even Shakur Stevenson tricks. Like, he gotta have some movement. McKenson cannot beat Virgil Ortiz thinking he's gonna box him, because he ain't. I mean, he's gonna have to outbox him, yeah, but he's gonna have to move those feet. He's got to be in and out. He got to keep Virgil Ortiz at range. He can't let Virgil close the distance on him. I mean, I'll just think this is a Virgil Ortiz by 7th round KO, bro. I mean, even though McKenson, I want to give him a better opportunity to say he got the skills to deal with Virgil if it comes to boxing skills. I mean, he got to have some skills, Punch. You can't just be winning all those fights and not get knockouts. Right? But that's too much to ask for a fighter who don't have that punching power. What do you think, Punch?
Man, I think Virgil Ortiz just gonna tear him up, bro. It's not even. It's easy to analyze the fight. He gonna stop the kid. I don't see it. He gonna stop him. Got no power to even push Virgil Ortiz back. He's gonna obliterate Michael McKenson.
I'm just trying to make it sound that it go to the 7th round.
He ain't stand no chance. He ain't stand no chance like Ryan Garcia, like Fortuna with Ryan Garcia. This is gonna be just like that.
Shit.
Maybe worse. Maybe worse.
Listen, McKenson better be on his bike. He better be running. He better know how to start moving.
Virgil Ortiz is athletic, got great feints, know how to jab at the body, know how to feint, go into the body, and then that straight right hand puts a lot of people down. And it's not even the right hand. He's putting people down with the right hand, but the left hook, I think that Virgil Ortiz got the best left hook in the game. It's vicious. His torque with that left hook is vicious.
Yeah, Joker says Virgil Ortiz is going to crush McKenson. Okay. Much pressure begins when the bell rings. Yeah, Mauricio Herrera, better boxer than McKenson, and Virgil crushed Mauricio.
Yo, Virgil Ortiz and the Virgil Ortiz, because Virgil Ortiz, you know, he came and Earl Spence came from the same school. You feel me? And that's why they have a similarity, but you know that like they mirror each other. You know, because Earl Spence is a southpaw, but man, Virgil Ortiz, yo, it looked like when he in that ring, like he's letting out some.
Man, okay, I'm gonna say how I feel. Then I'm gonna be honest. I gotta be nice for my countryman. He's food. He's food, just like what my guy said. You send 007. 100% 007 comes from England. You know you're James Bond with that. I'm telling you now, there is not many people in England that I've spoke to, or even people around anywhere, who are saying that McKenson has a chance against Virgil. We know he's kind of food for him, but we're trying to keep it respectful because he's an unbeaten fighter, Punch. And
yo, he's like
Ortiz. This is Virgil Ortiz's first ever unbeaten fighter he's fighting.
It's like giving a cracker to a homeless person. He gonna eat that shit up, and he didn't even know that he ate it up.
Yeah, man. I just thinking, could it be a beatdown from the beginning till he stops him, or does McKenson at least show that he can, you know, survive, or not even survive, but have a good little game plan for a few rounds against Virgil Ortiz? He's got to show that he belongs. Look, Punch, we know he can't win. We know the boy Virgil Ortiz from Texas. We already know he's the second best in Texas, or not the second best, but second best welterweight, right? After Errol Spence, they all talking about Virgil Ortiz when we're seeing that here from, you know what I mean?
The best man in Texas?
We can see that this is a man for after Errol Spence. We can see they're talking about him in Texas out there, right? So he's a big name. They say that he's the third best, not third, I mean, you want to put Keith Thurman there because Keith Thurman's more, you know, he's done way more than all of them. Obviously, he's the number 3 welterweight. But after Keith Thurman, who they're talking about? They're all talking about Virgil, really, aren't they? Yeah, they say Jarrett Boot Ennis, but Virgil's in line now before Jarrett Boot Ennis, and Virgil's got a better resume than Jarrett Boot Ennis. So he's that guy. He is that guy. So there's not many people in especially where I come from, London, think that McKenson's going to win. But we're hoping that he shows that he belongs in there, that he shows us that he deserves to be in with the guys. Do you think he'll show us that he deserves to be in there for some rounds?
Yo, but I don't know, bro. Raps already answered, man. He ain't got no, he stand no chance, bro.
Yeah, people are asking, where's Rick? Rick left, bro. You missed the show earlier, bro. Jose Gomez, where were you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Where were you, homie? Where were you, Con? You should have been there, Con. He was there. He was answering the questions.
Maybe these guys didn't see.
Smoke.
Maybe these guys didn't see yesterday. You know what I'm saying? This was supposed to happen.
But yo, smash the like button at least. You know what I mean? I think we got about, 30 over people. I bet you we don't even have more than 25, 30 likes. I went out my way to get the most controversial man, Rick Glaser. Then I got another man, Mr. Punch Drunk Boxing from the other side of the pond. You guys want to start supporting me out here. Smash that like button because I'm out here getting people. But look, I don't know what happened to the debate. Punch Drunk and Rick Glaser got into it. They had a little debate. Go back to the rewind, press rewind, and you'll see Punch Drunk and Rick Glaser, they got into it a little bit. And then Rick Glaser he just left. He said, I'm out like Superman. And then he phoned me and we spoke. And I even put that up on the live so you can see that he was just saying that he didn't want to debate anymore. So yeah, go back and watch that if you want. Rick Glaser was there. He was in the house. But yeah, Punch, to be honest, Saturday seems like it's the Virgil Ortiz show. But I mean, at least everybody's hyped up for the fight. So the undercard, we got your boy, yeah?
I read the comment say Push ran him off.
What happened?
I mean, no, I'm reading the comments.
Why are you laughing?
He said Punch ran him off.
Oh, Punch Drunk ran Rick Glaser off, people. He didn't want to speak to Punch no more. He said he's done with Punch. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation once. You know, me and Bill Haney used to speak a lot behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. And then when me and Devin Haney's dad, we had one big smoke, didn't we, Punch? Me and him went back and forth and it went a bit heated. And what did he say to me? WRAPSTAR.
Leave me alone. He said, why you just can't leave me alone?
What did he say? Bill Haney. Yo, I'm going to say this again. Bill Haney, the man who wants all the smoke, he didn't want no smoke with me. At the end, he said, WRAPSTAR, I concede. We are fighting Linares. We're not fighting Lomachenko. Leave me alone, bro. But please, can you support the fight? I said, why did you do all that capping for 3 months? You went on to some stupid people's channel trying to make me look bad. But when the debate happened and he said at the end, leave me alone, man, because I knew too much. Facts.
And then fast forward. Oh, yo, Punch, you going after these people? I said, man, he gonna fight. He got a Cambosa fight, man. He ain't gonna fight these guys. Stop saying that. People scared. He's already got a contract fight. He's contractual to fight Cambosa.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Come on, man. That's what it is, man. People disrespecting, man, what we know, bro.
No, you know what it is? I'll tell you what I think it is, Punch. You know, when you're in the business of boxing and you have a little name, yeah, you got ego as well. You don't want to be told. You want to get your point across. And if somebody's getting their point across, you want to cut them off and get your point across. You want everyone to hear you. And it's like you debating Bob Arum right now.
Nah, this is like the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's say, for example, people see me or people see you or guys like us, right? And we create a channel. and they see us from nothing, from 0, from 10, from 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers. So people see us on the come up, but it's just like in the hood, like you still not, you will never, how you say, like you will never get people really on your side like that. You know what I'm saying? They rather believe people that they don't know.
Yeah, because you're not certified in their eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, we're not certified.
Glaser and Bob Arum and Rick Glaser and all these guys are certified because they've done few things. They can say they've been here. They can say they've done this and that. You know, like they've been in the game way longer than you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's why he has to say, 30 years. Like if I can't know something about a certain subject or a certain possible event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, bro, we should be more trusted than anybody, because people be like, I'm subscribed to you. I listen to you almost every day. I see who you get information from. I see what you know. But then you get people, I want to see Rick. I gotta hear what Rick has to say because he knows everything, and he, Punch and everybody else don't know shit. He knows it all. He knows about the numbers. He knows about the pay-per-view. He knows about everything. Y'all scared.
Man.
Even some people, y'all scared. Y'all see how smoked
You know
them
what? In
out.
boxing, people underestimate the
Why
small
y'all
guys in
being his
boxing.
fucking babysitter? Y'all being his babysitter. I ain't nobody babysitter, motherfucker. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I know.
Hey, let me tell you people something, and this is a true fact. Never underestimate anyone anyway, number one. And don't underestimate the small guy in boxing coming up, because he's the guy working hard, really trying to find out what's some facts. He's the guy speaking. It's like, okay, look, it's like this, Punch. We don't have conversations like this. How many people do you know, and how many things do you know that you would never say online because you know that those boxers or those managements or those professionals, that they've got a little thing where they've told you something, but it's for yourself.
Shit, I gotta know like 70% the shit that I know. A lot of shit.
No,
this shit.
look. Yeah, you know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's things that you know that you won't disclose to anybody else because that's your relationship with the people you know in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anyone else's business unless it's need to be made that business, because you also have to respect those people that you know in boxing because they know you differently.
Mm-hmm.
So because, like, just the way you respect your subscribers, like we know our subscribers, we have respect for them. So at the end of the day, there's a level of things that you can't say because you know it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming at somebody, or you're speaking in a heated debate, or you be telling someone else. It's like you come off like that because you know certain things that people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's only because you're not certified in the game, or you ain't been there long enough, that people would, if you were Mike Coppinger and you were the first guy to say what you said about Tio or Haney when you knew it, or when you knew it about Andre, or the way that you know things about when you was talking about Keyshawn Davis when nobody was talking about him. Nobody even in the, I'm going to keep this real. What was that guy's name? Floyd Schofield. Yeah?
Yeah. Rick was
Keeping it
working with
real.
him.
Nobody knew Floyd Schofield.
Mm-hmm.
But when you out there and you're doing certain things, and you're, what I'm saying is you're not really getting the credit.
Is
Because
the
at
thing
the end of the day, you're
thing,
not one of those guys. You're not Mike Coppinger. You're not Rick Glaser. You're not Dan Rafael. If it was them, they're gonna get credit for it.
but see, let's say let's say Joker. What did I fuck up? I want to know. What do you want to know? You want him to go blab and lie to you? That's what you want? You want to lie? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Why you think I run motherfuckers off in boxing, bro?
No, you know what? Subscribers don't support people properly. Let me tell you why. It's the same way when I debated Bill Haney. I knew that Devin Haney wasn't going to be fighting Lomachenko. I knew that. I had inside information on that shit. And then Bill Haney realized later on that I did know that, and I knew inside info.
It's like these people don't
And that's why.
they don't want
And let
the
me
truth.
tell you the truth.
They don't want the truth.
Nobody gave me no credit. When Bill was slandering me and say WRAPSTAR don't know shit, we are gonna fight Lomachenko. I knew what he was doing. He was building Devin Haney's name, and he was keeping Devin Haney look like he's chasing everyone. At that point, Devin wasn't fighting Lomachenko. No matter what they said, there wasn't a Lomachenko fight. They were trying to show that they wanted Lomachenko to make it look like that. So it happened in the debate. Nobody gave me credit because they wanted to believe in Bill Haney.
I'll prove it. Let me see if I could smoke him. I could smoke him back into the panel, and let me see. And let me see if I'm lying about this. Rick Glaser has a best friend. He knows who I'm talking about. That was with him when he was going through, unfortunately, and I'm proud to you, my brother, that you survived the cancer. While you was fighting on cancer, you had a best friend by your side every step of the way. That best friend of yours works for PBC. Now you know who I'm talking about. If you're listening, let me see if I could smoke you back into the panel to see if you're gonna disagree with me on this one. Like if I don't know what I know. You had a best friend that's your best friend that was with you by your side every step of the way while you had cancer. Your best friend works and deals with PBC. Your best friend says, please stop talking crap about the people that I work with because you putting me in the middle spot. Do me that favor. As a best friend, you kept on going because you're compromising the relationship of who he worked with, knowing that then PBC don't want to do anything with you or anybody you work with, nor your fighters. You gave your best friend that was with you in your worst times and basically gave him the middle finger. I am Rick, and I say what I gotta say, and this is who I am.
Yeah, but
Now
save that for when you. Yeah, but when he's here, save that for when he's here, innit? Because there's no point.
And I just served them a plate. Now, anybody in the comment, you want to give me your testimony to see who's the bullshitter around here? Motherfuckers think I'm this wild boy that don't know shit. Motherfuckers think that I don't know shit in the sport of boxing. I'm letting y'all know who I am. Come on, man. Yeah. Y'all want the truth or nothing but the truth? Well, I could entertain y'all all the fucking time. Act like I don't know shit. I could do that. That shit is easy. I could do the same shit that everybody else is doing, right, Rap?
Yeah, and I think people have become so soft in their fucking in this community, bro. They're soft. Sometimes people got to recognize, right, that you got to speak the certain truth, or not even just the truth. Speak the things that people are thinking in their brain. Don't hold back. You know what I mean? This is not that kind of a live. It's an open panel. So if you feel a certain way, then say it.
Nah, Khan. See, but this is the problem. Let's say Khan said, I have less than no interest about the politics in the sport. Bro, then if you gotta understand it, bro. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Y'all gotta understand the politics of the sport of boxing. If you have no interest in the politics in the sport of boxing, you don't know what the fuck is going on in the sport of boxing. You're gonna be bitching and crying and frustrated, not knowing why this fight is not happening, what is going on. You gotta know what's going on, so you won't be frustrated. You know what the fuck you talking about, and you know what you're seeing. That's why I had to time in when he was talking about the mandatory. I did a video before. I'm the only one in the YTBC that did a video. Guess when I did that video? Guess who messaged me when I did that video? Matter of fact, guess who messaged me and then called me about the video that I did? Virgil T. Sr. He said, you're the only one in boxing that caught on to the bullshit. And I'm not going to say the whole conversation. He said, the only reason I'm in the sport of boxing is because my son want to be in it. But he hates the politics of the sport of boxing. He don't like the business of it, and they know they got snubbed out their spot. So when he's talking about the mandatory spot, knowing that Sean Porter was never a mandatory nor a ranked WBO fighter leading up to a Crawford mandatory spot, is that the politics of boxing with the both teams put Sean Porter in that position so they could make the fight and get paid the necessary dollars that they needed to get paid and the incentives and all that background shit that was going on. So when I'm saying, hey, yo, my man, you know about the politics of boxing. And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know about that side. I know about the whole shit. So don't talk shit about mandatory in between Porter and Crawford when that was politically moved and managed so it could turn out like that. So he could bullshit, yeah, but he's not going to bullshit the people that actually know a particular subject. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But didn't Sean Porter also fight a guy called Famela, which Conor Ben fought, right?
Yeah,
so
but
that was... fight with Sean Porter and Famela didn't put him in no position either.
No, that was no position. That fight, matter of fact, was for the IBO.
Oh, that was for the IBO.
Yeah, they was fighting for IBO. They was fighting for IBO, and he was still fighting for the WBC. Sean Porter didn't even know. Like, remember in the telecast, he like, oh shit, I am ranked number 1. I am in the mandatory to Bud. They've been working on a deal for a year and change. The pandemic slowed shit up, but they've been working on a deal.
Yeah, and that's nothing like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman had a deal before he went and vacated the title. It was not like Sean Porter's deal. I mean, Sean Porter didn't have a deal. They put him in position. But Keith Thurman recently is in position now over Virgil and Jarrett Boot Ennis because of the deal that he made with WBC Mauricio Sulaiman before he vacated his title, correct?
Yeah, hey, yo, you heard the new news? You got that would be a good interview if you could get Mauricio Sulaiman before the convention. The number one subject in the convention is going to be transgender in the sport.
Hey, what is going on with that, bro? I don't know. I see showbiz talking about it. What is this transgenders in
WBC?
What's this about?
The WBC.
What's this about, bro?
You gotta call your boy. Get the info.
What do you mean that? What are you saying? That WBC is looking to sanction transgender boxing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's gonna say that they're giving all the opportunities, and they're gonna be talking about. That's gonna be the main subject in the convention.
Man, stop it! Man, it's too fucking. Listen, bruv. Stop it! It's too early in the morning for me to start going onto my fucking uncorporate WRAPSTAR. You know what I mean? I don't want to even start going into some crazy one right now, bro. You telling me that WBC is looking to sanction transgender boxing?
Yep.
Or they're letting a she come into our sport and fight as a fucking transgender. What are you talking about, bro?
That's what they saying. That's what they're alluding to.
Man,
this is real. Is real news right now. Go check it out. Google if you want.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man. This is taking some. Listen, bro. I don't even want to talk about this conversation. If they're bringing transgenders to boxing, bro, what's going on? In the future, what we're getting? Tank Davis with a he-she.
You're going to get Deontay Wilder versus Katie Taylor.
Shit, man. Stop this shit. What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
Yo.
Hey, listen, man. We're going too far.
You the man. Yo, WRAPSTAR, you the man for it. You are the man to bring. You get the exclusive with Mauricio Sulaiman. Bring him on and ask him about it, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to these people now. Let me tell you why I wasn't reaching out anymore, because I didn't really get the real support when I did bring the godfather of boxing, the president, the CEO of WBC, who fucking takes an interview from his house and comes to your channel. I've done that not once but twice, but maybe now I might do it, because before I felt like I ain't gonna even let him come at the moment. You know what I mean? For a long time, let him do his thing. But with what you're saying, I've got to reach out to them.
People gotta support WRAPSTAR, man. Smash the like button, man. I'm telling you, man. We working, man. We working behind the
What do
scenes.
you guys really now look? I'm gonna put a petition out there. I want to get at least 300 people. No, fuck this shit. I want to get a fucking 500 people at least out of my subscribers or anywhere else. I'll put it on the community. If I don't get the support to say bring him on, I'm not bringing him on. I'm not even gonna reach out for it, bro.
Yeah, you should do that. Now I
I'm
feel
only
you,
gonna
bro.
reach out.
I feel you. I feel you. But don't worry, because you know what?
I'm only joking, but look,
Yeah,
this
yeah. Because you
transgender
know what? Because
conversation
at
ain't
the end of
good.
the day, there's loyal supporters that support you. That you know what I'm saying, that they want to don't dictate getting Mauricio Solomon in for the people that don't support you. There's people. Look, there's people right now. We supporting you. People in the chat supporting you. Get that interview and let people catch up. That's
Yeah,
the
but
only
right
way.
now, let's see what's taking place because I don't like the conversations. You know what I mean? I don't like these conversations that we're having right now, bro.
Yo, can you imagine a transgender man fighting Katie Taylor, right? Let's just say transgender fighting Katie Taylor, and she's undefeated, and that man beats Katie Taylor and fuck up an undefeated streak. Can you imagine that shit happen?
Man, I can't even have these conversations, bro. This is some fucked up conversations we're having, bro. She come and fuck up one of our princesses.
Yo, imagine that shit happen. Can you imagine? And look, we're not talking about like like the swimming, the swimmer transvestite. You ain't talking about the Caitlyn Jenner. You talking about boxing, combat sport. If
No, because there's so many.
this man
Punch,
beats
and
the
so many
woman
men
up,
will try and be
and
like
let's
women.
say, God forbid, it could paralyze one of the ladies, one of the warriors, an Alicia Baumgartner, you know what I'm saying, Katie Taylor, Jessica McCaskill, Amanda Serrano. Can you imagine if they fight a transgender and that man beats them up so bad, like on some permanent shit? That's gonna be blood in the WBC's hands, bro. I don't know.
No, let me tell you this, Punch. Let me tell you this, man. This is going beyond. This is a conversation that I never thought I'd ever take in place. Forget in boxing, never on my channel. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Oh shit, yo,
I can't even.
I gotta talk about,
man.
that,
I can't. Really and truly, bro. What I want to say right now is not where I want to go with the conversation because it's too early in the morning.
Yo, that's the type of you know what? That's the type of content that shuts down the fucking channel. I think. Like put on a thumbnail and all that stuff. Like, shh.
Can you imagine certain men, trying to fucking be transgender to be boxing champions, to beat up some of these women like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Carissa Shields, Savannah Marshall fighting fucking transgenders? It's not fair, is it? It's not fair for them, though, is it?
Can you imagine Andy Ruiz wanted to become a transgender and then he fights Crew de Journe or somebody like that?
Yeah, but you know what, Punch? I hope these things don't take place where we have to cover this in boxing. Now, look, those are personal opinions. Now, you got to remember this. Even if my homie WBC Mauricio Solomon comes there, I'll tell him, a lot of us don't agree with it. That's a different opinion. But are you looking to sanction fights with transgenders? And how are you looking to do this with transgenders? Are you looking to have your own boxing like division for transgenders? You're trying to put transgenders in with women? You're trying to put transgenders in with men? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? So these kind of details are only going to be talked about if he's really going to be talking about something like that. Now, I just don't feel like this is something I want to cover. And if I see anyhow there's something I don't like, and I'm thinking to myself, this is now not something I want to be looking at in boxing, then it might come to the point that WRAPSTAR boxing knowledge becomes WRAPSTAR life knowledge. And I come out of boxing. Because right now you got me thinking different. Even though I got a lot of love for Mauricio Sulaiman, this shit ain't going right. I don't like this. This conversation with Mauricio Sulaiman ain't gonna go good. As much as I respect what he does for boxing, it ain't gonna go good because as a man, I don't like what he's doing right now.
Are they getting bored, bro? Is the people in the boxing, or he's looking for a new pipeline? Because you know the LGBT whatever you want to, all the alphabet shit. You know that that's money right there. So they probably looking at a new pipeline in boxing. Is boxing doing that bad with money and low pay-per-views that they say, hey man, we need the transgender, we need the game money.
Man, they're gonna make a rainbow belt. The fuck is going on, bro? Hey, look, let me just say this, Punch. I already heard not long ago that the sanctioning body was looking to sanction Jake Paul's fight because they know Jake Paul brings in a lot of money. So we already know we're corrupted in many ways in the sport. We already know we're in a gangster's playground, but gangsters don't play this playground, bro.
There's the new gangster right now, bro.
This ain't no new gangsters, bro. This is
it's gonna be, my brother. Hey, your boy is trying to. Your boy is trying to start something, man.
Listen. You better watch out before WRAPSTAR becomes a WRAPSTAR MMA knowledge. Get the fuck out of this shit, bro. I'm running to UFC. Get the fuck out of this. I just remember the old days of boxing. I don't want to be part of this.
Yo, it's funny how this is a conversation. Like in boxing, they make it a big deal when you 1 pound over because of the safety of the other fighter. You know what I'm saying? Now and this got to be a discussion. Like WBC, you really have to discuss this when think about this. Jean-Riel Casimero just got stripped because he was in a sauna. He got stripped of his world title because he was in a sauna.
Hey, look, bro. I don't know what you're talking about right now, but you've made all the chat me. Oh, man. Look, all I'm saying is I ain't got nothing against people, man. People do what they want. But don't fucking bringing it to our sport. I mean, come on, man. This is a sport of hardcore boxing fans, blood, sweat, and tears.
RuPaul's gonna sing the national anthem. RuPaul's gonna sing.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. This is a sport that we have a different outlook for, bro. And if we're gonna be part of that industry, then people gotta start picking and choosing because at the end of the day,
out, dum, dum, I wanna let you. That's gonna be one of the ring walks. And the music coming out, I just gotta give.
Can you imagine though, Punch? A transgender comes out and starts knocking everyone out. Hey. And then all of a sudden the transgender speaking like Conor McGregor and it's become a big star. And now the transgenders in the pound for pound rankings and the transgenders taking over the sport. I mean, this is a kind of shit madness that I don't want to. Hey, listen, is the future going to a place here that everything now is open, that the world has changed and everything has to be adapted to the new world?
Bro, you know this for a fact, bro. Everybody, even the fans know this for a fact. There was never really discussions of transgenders, really gay discussions in boxing like that. Mauricio Sulaiman is just throwing something out, and I got people talking about this like, oh, that's gonna be the main subject in the convention. Shit, that I don't want to go to no damn convention. But what I'm saying, like, why are you trying to bring something to the sport when nobody's asking for it? There's no protest outside of any boxing event and saying, let us in. Like, there is, like, what are you trying to do now? Like, damn, Mauricio, come on, brother. What are you trying to do? I don't know, man.
Fucking mad world we live in already, bro. Fucking
getting
twisted.
Bored, bro. They getting bored, man. They getting
fucking
bored.
Tomorrow they're gonna sanction anything.
We thought the franchise was worse. We thought the franchise was bad. Oh man, this guy take the cake, bro. Oh man.
Man, I hope it's just a whole bunch of fucking BS, you know. But yo, man, at the end of the day, I don't know, man. This is
Hey yo.
crazy. This is
Hey,
crazy, man. At the
hey
end of the
yo.
day, you're making me feel bad for boxing, bro. You know what
Hey
I'm
yo,
saying?
man.
I don't know
Box.
even know if I think people are scared to even speak the truth. Even can you imagine boxers who are gonna let this happen? Boxers are not gonna say nothing. I mean, what do we expect? People are gonna shut the fuck up. People have become some beta males, man. They're scared to speak how they fucking want to speak. You know what I mean? It's like you're the bad guy. You can't say nothing. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Well, you know what I mean? Things are not normal and things are abnormal, and everything what's abnormal is becoming accepted to community. So we know that we've accepted so many things over the years and adapted as human beings. What was wrong years ago is totally right today. Think about that. What our kids were told was the devil is totally the saint today.
Mhm.
It's totally a mixed up. They have mentally twisted human beings. This world is mentally they are making human beings the way they want to make human beings be. They control the human beings, bro. That's all I'm saying. What's right and wrong don't even exist anymore. Because
That's
what's right in your head,
they've taken God out their psyche. They don't fear God. That I think that's that's the problem with society. They don't fear the higher power. They don't fear God. They don't fear in hell. You know what I'm
and that's a
saying?
true point. You know what, Punch? That's a true point. Years ago, they would shame you. That's what Tip Bayless just said. They used to shame people. They would shame you. Communities would shame you. The law would shame you. People would shame you. But now there is no more shaming. It's okay to be this and this and this, and it's okay to be like that. When you know that's totally wrong.
Hey yo, they put people in the closet now. Before they used to whisper, like I'm going through this and I'm this and that, and the straight people, you know what I'm saying? They'll say, hey, I'm faggot, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? All the derogatory shit. Now is the straight people whispering like, yo, I think he gay. Hey, yo, I think she's lesbian. Yo, now they got us whispering and shit like that.
Yeah. Tycho TV says though it can't be what anyone's thinking because a transgender is virtually a man, and it's like man going against a woman in a ring and killing her. That can't happen.
Look, it's not gonna work in boxing. And you know why it's not gonna work in boxing? You know why fighters won't stay shut? Because boxing is open season, is a green light. Like you was telling Rick the other earlier. He like in boxing, ain't nobody cared what Mike Tyson got convicted of. Nobody cared
Yeah,
that
you heard
Javante.
me. What you heard when I told him that, innit?
Yeah. Ain't nobody really cared what Javante Tank Davis did to baby mama and when it went viral. In boxing, we barbaric. So trust me, these boxers are they gonna say they gonna say shit. You know why? Because boxers really don't got endorsements. You know what I'm saying? They don't got endorsements to the point where they're scared to lose endorsement. Now the NBA players, MLB, and them other sports, LeBron James he'll keep his mouth shut. We're gonna have transgenders in the NBA. He's gonna keep his mouth shut because he's scared to lose out that money. That's why Flo Mayweather talked the way he talked. He didn't get his money off endorsements, so he's free.
Yeah, man. That's 100, bro, for sure.
But you know
But
what?
well,
Knowing how the world is going, I won't be surprised that in 3, 4, or I'm gonna say 3 years, a transgender is gonna beat a woman, and he's gonna be the WBC welterweight champion of the world. He's
let's
gonna
hope
break.
Punch
Oh,
don't think
he's
is
gonna
wrong.
he's gonna break Clarissa Shields you know what I'm saying, record and 2 division undisputed champion. He's going to have he's going to be the 9 division world champion, going to break Amanda Serrano's record and 7 division world champion. Watch.
No.
Watch, it's going to happen.
No, but you know what? Punch Drunk's making a bit of sense here. You know, this world has become, everything's different. And if something crazy and different happens, as much as people don't like it, they're going to tune in. And if something crazy happens today, that something happens that a transgender's coming into boxing. And all of a sudden, the transgender's got a good coach and everything else. And, you know, this is going to cause a cringe. And at the same time, it's going to cause where people are going to want to watch it. And to be fair with you, I hope Punch is wrong, but the world has become a twisted world. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Look at what the YTBC likes. Look at what the majority of YouTube likes. Look at what the people want to hear. Have you seen those channels when they talk about sick children and they say they're going to beat children up?
Yeah, I'm about to time out.
Because when I get started, what?
I'm about to time out. You're looking now, bro. I'll be listening on. I gotta
yeah,
take
I'm out in a sec as well. Right. But like I said, people, the world has become a twisted place. And I hope Punch Drunk Boxing's wrong. That the world wants to watch twisted things. They want to watch channels which are beta male channels, which are talking the worst shit in the world. Evil shit. And those channels are getting likes, thousands of views. Anything what sells drama is what people want to see. Crazy drama these days. I'm just saying. I hope Punch is wrong. You know what I mean? Let boxing just stay boxing. I got nothing against the world. Let everybody do what they want to do in this world, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody's a human being. So everybody, whatever they want to do, God bless everyone. But just leave boxing to be what boxing was. An old school sport. Kids coming out of sweaty gyms, coming from the hood, coming from the street, not having nothing in life, and boxing made them. Boxing's given a lot to a lot of kids off the street. Let's not forget that. So I just want to see boxing stay with what boxing was. You get me? That's all I'm saying, bro. But on that note, yo, you guys who missed Rick Glaser, he was on the channel earlier. Him and Punch Drunk Boxing went a little bit at it. Rick Glaser got a little offended. He left the debate. It went a bit heated. I don't know what happened there. But you guys can go and rewind and watch that again. You get what I mean? But yo, everybody who came in, smash that like button. Tip Bayless, Con, Tycho TV. Con says, I feel the same way, WRAPSTAR. And I agree. Yeah, man. I don't want to see harm for no one, people. But I'll just say, keep boxing the way boxing is. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. But yo, much love to everyone. Danny Medina, everybody who came through today. We'll be back again soon, and we'll be chopping it up on the WRAPSTAR Boxing Knowledge. We out of here, bro, from the other side of the pond. Peace.